Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make a custom palette like this one. It's like that on the inside. These are great birthday gifts. I know this video is a little bit late for Christmas, but I mean you could pull together a last minute Christmas gift if you really needed to. This is the one that I made for someone for Christmas. It's just a neutral palette. It says neutrals on the front. It's really cute and really girly. So now I'm going to show you guys how to make it, and this is probably going to be a 2 or 3 part video just because the process is so long. So let's just get started. First I'm going to show you how to depot the eyeshadows, and what that means is to take it out of its original casing and to have it in pan form like you can buy it at MAC. It's just going to have the metal part and the eyeshadow in there. What you're going to need for this is obviously whatever eyeshadows you're going to be using, a flat iron. It can be a cheap one, it does not matter. And you're going to need a push pin like this, or a pin. It can be any kind of safety pin, just something really small like this, really thin. Okay, so that's what you're going to need, and now I'm just going to start. You don't really need to take the backings off of them. Those aren't going to catch fire or anything like that. I keep my flat iron on a medium or a quarter of the way. So like the medium setting will do. It doesn't need to be that hot. So you're going to take your eyeshadow, set it on the flat iron. Make sure it's flat, and then just leave it there for 7 seconds. And then you're going to take your pin and go into the corner of the eyeshadow right here. Pop it in there and pull up. It's going to pull up like that. And heads up, with Maybelline shadows, there is a ton of glue. So you have to be careful. You might need to wiggle it a little bit longer, and if you do need to add more time, you can do that. Just add 2 or 3 seconds at a time. I'm actually going to turn my flat iron down a little bit because it's a little bit too hot. And now I'm just going to go through and do the rest of them. 7 seconds. If you need to add more, add more. And then push the pin into the corner right here, right there in the corner, and pull up. Okay, so at this point you're going to have a whole bunch of shadows that look like this. There is a ton of glue on the back. So now I'm just going to show you how I get the glue off of the back, and this is the easiest way that I find. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, so to take off this glue, especially the Maybelline shadows, they are really, really filled with glue. It's pretty gross, but I'm going to try a new method today, but what I usually do is I take alcohol, 70% rubbing alcohol, you can find this at any drugstore, hold the eyeshadow flat and put a few drops of alcohol over the glue. You want to let it sit for a few seconds, and then take a knife and make sure the knife is serrated, which means it's not a straight edge. It has little teeth like that. And what you're going to do is be very careful with this because you can cut yourself. And then you're just going to scrape the glue like this just scrape it, and the alcohol will help to break down the glue, and then the knife will scrape it off. Try not to get alcohol on the eyeshadow itself because it can potentially damage it, so you just want to be really careful. And you may need to repeat this process a couple times, but trust me, it is the easiest way to get the glue off that I've tried. So you just want to do that, and this stuff is gross. I don't know why they put so much glue. Okay, so again, just take the shadow, put some alcohol on each. Put like a drop or two on each little part of glue. And then you want to let it sit for about 10 seconds because it's going to start breaking down the glue before you go in and scrape it. And sometimes what I like to do is kind of dab it if I put a little bit too much, because if you start soaking the eyeshadow with the alcohol, it's going to kind of ruin the consistency of it. It's okay if you scratch the shadow because it's just going to be on the back side, so it doesn't really matter. And then every now and then, if the knife starts getting really sticky or your hands, take some alcohol on a paper towel or a cotton pad and wipe it off. And then just take the knife and wipe off the edge of the knife so that it's not sticky. It'll just make it easier to work with. CoverGirl ones are really easy because there's only a small dab of glue on there, so you only need a little bit of glue or alcohol. Sometimes you kind of want to scrape it slowly so that you get big chunks of it off at one time instead of like scraping it repeatedly, because you're just going to spread the glue around. And I do this 2 to 3 times per shadow just to make sure that all the glue's off of it completely. So as you guys can see, they're like completely clean now. There's no more glue on them. So what I did was I did the alcohol, the drops of alcohol, and scraping it with a knife. I did that twice. And then I went in with a cotton pad and the Goo Gone stuff. And then I went in with a cotton pad and alcohol just to wipe everything off and sanitize it and make sure that all the glue is gone. So what I like to do is take the little sticker with the name of the eyeshadow, and I like to just attach them to the back so that when I give this as a gift, they'll know which color is which. And this is completely optional, you don't need to do this, but I just like to do it because it's more convenient for them in case they need to go back and buy the color again. So it's just going to look like that. So I'm going to do that to all of these. So now all the shadows have names on the back. You don't have to do this, but you can if you want to. I just like to make it easier on them with replacements. So now that I showed you how to depot the eyeshadows, you can watch part 2. for me to, you can watch part 2 and I will show you how to deconstruct a regular CD and make it into your own custom palette case.